Most people think their money problems are personal. You might think it's because you made bad decisions, your income is too low, or you just lack discipline. But what if the real reason started long before you ever earned your first paycheck? Before you even understood what money was, you were already learning about it. Not from books, not from school, but from the people all around you. Money habits are inherited, but they're inherited quietly. They're absorbed, not taught. As a child, you watched how the adults in your life talked about money. You probably heard the stress in their voices. You might have seen arguments, or maybe just a heavy silence, a sense of fear, or even pride surrounding finances. Every one of those moments planted a seed, creating a pattern in your mind, even if nobody ever explained what was happening. This is exactly why two people earning the exact same income can live completely different financial lives. One person feels calm and in control. The other feels constantly anxious, like they're always one step away from disaster. The difference isn't their intelligence or their salary, it's their conditioning. Many people inherit what we call scarcity thinking. If you grew up hearing phrases like, money is hard to earn, we can't afford that, or money doesn't grow on trees, your brain learned to associate money with danger and limitation. Then, even when you start earning more later in life, that deep-seated fear doesn't just disappear. It just changes its shape. You might save money obsessively, but you're too afraid to invest it. You get a raise, but you never feel secure. Your income goes up, but your stress level stays exactly the same. Does that sound familiar? Others inherit spending patterns. If money was used as a tool for comfort, celebration, or status in your childhood home, you may be repeating that pattern without even realizing it. You don't spend because you need something. You spend because that's how emotions were managed. A bad day means a shopping spree. A good day means a fancy dinner out. The spending isn't about the item, it's about the feeling. And then there are those who inherit avoidance. Maybe for you, bills were always stressful. Money conversations were always uncomfortable and led to fights. So now, as an adult, you avoid looking at your bank accounts. You put off financial planning. You delay making important money decisions. In the short term, avoidance feels safe. It protects you from that old, familiar stress. But over the years, that avoidance can cost you dearly. The tricky part is that these habits don't feel like habits. They feel like your personality. That's what makes them so powerful. Most people never stop to question where their money behaviors actually came from. They just assume, this is just how I am with money. But it isn't. It's learned behavior. Think about how you view debt. Some people grew up seeing debt as a normal, harmless part of life. Others were taught to fear it completely, like it was the worst thing that could ever happen. Neither of these extremes is particularly healthy, but both are almost always inherited. The same is true for risk. If your family avoided financial risk at all costs, you might find yourself avoiding incredible opportunities for growth. On the other hand, if your family took reckless risks, you might be repeating that same chaotic cycle. You see, our money behavior is rarely logical. It's our emotional history repeating itself over and over again. This is why so much financial advice completely fails. Standard advice targets your behavior. Spend less, save more, invest this way. But your behavior is driven by your identity, by the stories you tell yourself about money. Until you understand your own money identity, any attempt to change your behavior will feel forced and unsustainable. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can do it for a while, but eventually, it's going to pop back up. So, the first real step to financial growth isn't earning more money. It's awareness. Start by just noticing your patterns. How do you react when money feels tight? Do you panic? Do you shut down and avoid it? Do you go out and spend money you don't have to feel better? And what about when money feels abundant? When you get a bonus or a raise, do you finally relax? Or do you immediately upgrade your lifestyle, ensuring you're right back where you started? These reactions were learned somewhere in your past. We don't just inherit habits, we inherit expectations. Some people subconsciously expect to struggle with money. So when things start going well, they find a way to self-sabotage. They spend more. They stop their good habits. They drift back to what feels familiar. And let's be clear, familiar does not mean healthy. It just means it's a path you've walked before. Now, breaking these inherited habits doesn't mean you have to reject your past or blame your family. It's not about that. It's about updating your internal software. You don't have to keep repeating financial stories that no longer serve you and your goals. This is where the concept of quiet wealth begins. Quiet wealth isn't about showing off or proving anything to anyone. It's about building systems in your life that create a sense of calm and stability. It's about replacing emotional, reactive money decisions with intentional, thoughtful ones. This might look like automating your savings so you don't have to think about it. It might mean creating a few simple rules for your spending. It could involve designing your life around stability instead of constantly chasing the next thing. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is interruption. You just need to interrupt the old patterns, interrupt the automatic emotional reactions, interrupt the inherited scripts that play on a loop in your head. Over time, as you interrupt these old ways, your money behavior will naturally start to change. And when your behavior changes, your outcomes will follow. The most powerful shift happens when you stop blaming yourself for your financial mistakes and start understanding yourself. Because once you can clearly see the pattern, you gain the power to choose differently. Wealth isn't just built with income. It's built with awareness. The money you manage today carries the echoes of your past, but it doesn't have to decide your future. You are allowed to outgrow inherited habits. You're allowed to create a new financial identity for yourself, one that's based on clarity.com and conscious choice. That is how generational cycles of financial stress are broken. It doesn't start with more money. It starts with better understanding. And once that understanding takes root, wealth stops feeling like a constant fight and starts feeling like alignment. That's the moment when money finally starts working for you instead of against you. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more videos on building a calmer, wealthier life.